Last video, you designed a voice people follow and finally cast the perfect narrator for your channel. But even a flawless narrator sounds fake when the script fights it, so today you write for the ear. In the last video, you learned how to design a voice people follow. You chose the tone, you shaped the pace, you picked the warmth, and you kept it the same from video to video, so your audience could recognize it the way they recognize a friend on the phone. That was the casting. You found your narrator. But casting the perfect narrator is only half the job. Now you have to hand that narrator something to say. And this is where almost every Faceless channel quietly falls apart. Here is the trap. People spend weeks searching for the perfect AI voice. They test one, then another, then another. They complain that the voice sounds robotic. They blame the tool. They chase a newer, more expensive model, sure that the next one will finally sound human. It almost never does. Because the voice was rarely the problem. The script was. Let that sink in, because it changes everything you do from here. Most AI voices do not sound fake because of the voice. They sound fake because of the words you fed them. You handed a living instrument a lifeless page, and then you were disappointed that it played a lifeless song. Think about sheet music. A singer, even a world-class one, can only sound as good as what is written on the page in front of them. Give a brilliant singer flat, clumsy notes, and they sing something flat and clumsy. Give a plain, ordinary singer a beautiful melody, and something magic happens. The song carries them. The AI voice is exactly the same. It is a performer waiting for a score. Your script is that score. If the notes are wrong, no voice on earth can save the performance. So today, you stop blaming the singer. Today, you learn to write the melody. Start with a single idea that fixes more robotic narration than any tool ever will. You are not writing to be read, you are writing to be heard. Those sound like the same thing. They are not even close. When you write for the eye, you write for a reader who is in control. A reader can slow down. A reader can stop. A reader can jump back and read the tricky sentence a second time and a third until it finally clicks. And third, some I write down for the time and five the tried of so kamba. It's mentions of Axini sentence a second time. And a third time I'll try to priders and try to pine reader. It's with 30 hears in sentence a second time. Your school essays, your emails, your blog posts, all of them were written for that patient, in control reader. A listener has none of that power. A listener gets your words once in order at the speed you set, and then the words are gone. They cannot rewind a feeling. They cannot reread a sentence that lost them. If a listener gets confused for even 2 seconds, they do not scroll back. They scroll away. So writing for the ear is a completely different craft. It is closer to writing a bedtime story than writing a report. Every line has to land the first time, cleanly, while the listener is half relaxed and only half paying attention. How do you do that? You start by making your sentences short. Short sentences are the foundation of natural speech. Watch how real people actually talk. They do not speak in long, winding, comma-stuffed sentences that stretch across half a page. They speak in little bursts. One thought, then the next, then the next. A good rule to start with is simple. 1 idea per line. If a sentence is trying to carry 2 ideas, cut it in half and let each idea breathe on its own. A long sentence forces the AI voice to rush because it has to reach the end before it runs out of air, just like you would. A short sentence lets the voice land. It lets the idea sit for a moment before the next one arrives. Here is a picture for it. A long sentence is like asking someone to carry 10 grocery bags in one trip. They stagger, they strain, and something drops. Short sentences are like carrying 2 bags at a time, calmly, back and forth. Nothing falls. Everything arrives. Read your work and hunt for the longest sentence on the page, then break it. Almost every time, the moment you split it, it starts to sound alive. Now, here is a rule you were taught in school, and you are going to break it on purpose. You were told that every sentence needs a subject and a verb. A complete thought, no fragments allowed. Throw that away when you write for the ear. Because people do not talk in complete sentences. They talk in fragments, little pieces, like this. And the fragment, the incomplete little burst, is one of the most human sounds there is. When you let your script use natural fragments, the voice stops sounding like a textbook and starts sounding like a person leaning in to tell you something. Look at how that works. You could write, "This is a very important point that you should remember." Or you could write, "Remember this, it matters." Same meaning, but the second one has a heartbeat. It has the rhythm of a real human being talking to another real human being. That rhythm is what your listener bonds with. So give yourself permission. Fragments are not lazy writing. When you write for voice, fragments are music. Now for the piece almost everyone forgets. You have to write the pauses in. A great performance is not just the words, it is the silence between the words. A pause is where a listener catches up. A pause is where a joke lands. A pause is where a heavy idea gets a second to sink in before you move on. Without pauses, even the best script feels like a runaway train, and the listener grips the seat instead of enjoying the ride. But an AI voice cannot feel where a pause should go. It cannot sense the mood of a room. It only knows one thing. It reads your punctuation. So your punctuation is not grammar anymore. It is stage direction. It is the breathing instructions for your performer. A full stop is a real stop. A firm, clear breath. Use lots of them. A comma is a small pause, a gentle lean before the next piece. And when you want the voice to hang in the air for a beat, you can put an idea on its very own short line, so the silence around it does the work. Think of punctuation like the traffic lights of speech. A full stop is a red light. Everything halts. A comma is a slowdown. And a fresh line is a long red at a big junction where everyone waits and the moment feels important. When you place these lights on purpose, you are directing the traffic of the listener's attention. You decide when they speed up and when they stop to look. Most people scatter their punctuation by accident. You are going to place every mark on purpose, hearing the pause in your head before you type it. Which brings you to the single most powerful test in all of script writing, and it costs nothing. Read it aloud. That is it. Before any word ever reaches your AI voice, you read the whole script out loud, in your own mouth, at a natural, unhurried pace. This one habit will teach you more than any guide ever could. Professional voice writers swear by it, because your ear catches instantly what your eye slides right past. When you read aloud, you will trip over a word. That trip is a gift. It means the AI voice would trip there too. You will run out of breath in the middle of a long line. That gasp is a signal. The sentence is too long, so cut it. You will hit a phrase that sounds stiff or fancy or like something no human has ever said at a dinner table. Circle it. Rewrite it the way you would actually say it to a friend. Here is the simplest way to think about it. If it feels awkward in your mouth, it will sound awkward in the AI's mouth. Your mouth is the rehearsal room. The AI voice is opening night. Never let opening night be the first time the words are spoken. Rehearse first every single time, and you will catch nearly every robotic line before your audience ever hears it. There's one more layer, and it is the layer that separates a script that is merely clear from a script that actually moves people. Emotional direction. An AI voice does not know how you feel about your own words. It does not know if this line is a warm secret, a serious warning, or a bright, exciting reveal. If your writing gives it no emotional clue, it will read everything flat in the same even tone, and flatness is exactly what people mean when they call a voice robotic. So you have to write the emotion into the words themselves. You do this in two ways. First, choose words that carry a feeling. Warm words for warm moments. Sharp, short words for tense moments. Soft, slow words for gentle ones. The word gorgeous already sounds happier than the word acceptable. The very shape of the word tells the voice how to feel. Second, guide the rhythm to match the mood. When you want excitement, speed the writing up. Short lines, quick beats, bang, bang, bang. When you want calm, stretch the sentences out a little and let them wander gently, the way a slow evening walk wanders with room to breathe. The pace of your writing becomes the pace of the emotion. Go back to the sheet music. A composer does not only write the notes. They write soft here, loud there, quicken now, slow down and hold. Those markings tell the musician how to feel the music, not just how to play it. Your word choice and your rhythm are those markings. Without them, the AI plays the notes correctly and feels nothing. With them, it performs. There is also a quiet habit that separates writing for the ear from writing for the eye, and it feels strange at first. You repeat yourself on purpose. On the page, repeating a point looks like a mistake, so writers cut it. But remember, your listener cannot scroll back. If a big idea flies past once and they blink, it is gone forever. So a good spoken script says the important thing, then says it again a slightly different way, so it has two chances to land. Think of it like a friend giving you directions. They do not say turn left at the bakery only once. They say it then add, so left right at the bakery, you can't miss it. That gentle second pass is not clutter. It is kindness to a listener who only gets one shot. And you can guide that listener with tiny spoken signposts. Little phrases like here's the key part, or now watch what happens, or so, remember this. On paper, you might use a heading or a bold word to flag what matters. Your listener cannot see headings. These small phrases are your spoken headings. They tap the listener on the shoulder and say, wake up, this next bit is the one to keep. Sprinkle them in, and even a distracted listener knows exactly where to lean in. One more practical thing, because it trips up almost every beginner. An AI voice reads what you actually type, not what you meant. So you have to spell things out the way they are said. Do not write a number as digits in hope. Write it as words, the way it leaves your mouth. Do not drop in a symbol or a shorthand and trust the voice to translate it. Write out the full spoken version. The safest habit is simple. If you would not read those exact characters aloud in a conversation, do not type them into your script. Type the words you would actually say. The AI is a very literal performer. Feed it exactly the mouthful you want it to sing. Now for the twist, and it is the part almost no one believes until they try it. The more grammatically perfect your writing is, the more robotic your AI voice will sound. That feels backwards, so sit with it. You are taught that good writing means clean, complete, formal sentences. But formal, perfect prose is exactly how nobody speaks. Real speech is a little broken. It starts a thought, then adjusts. It repeats a word for emphasis. It uses contractions and fragments and little detours. That gentle mess is the fingerprint of a human being. So when you polish your script until it is flawless, you are not making it better. You are sanding off every mark that made it sound alive. You are handing the singer a page of technically correct, utterly lifeless notes. The counterintuitive move is to write worse, on purpose. Write don't, not do not. Start a sentence with and end one early. Let a fragment stand alone. Believe in the small, warm imperfections of real talk. The messier, more human script is the one the AI performs beautifully, because you finally gave it a human melody to sing. And here's the modern mirror, the part that is really about you. Right now, today, you already know how to do this. You do it every time you send a voice note to a friend. You do not script it. You do not make it grammatically perfect. You talk in short bursts and warm fragments. You pause, you laugh, you let your feelings shape your words, and it sounds completely, effortlessly human. That is writing for the ear. You have done it your whole life. You just never did it on paper. So the skill you are building is not new. It is a translation. You are learning to take the natural, alive way you already speak and pour it onto the page so your AI voice can pour it back out. The moment your script sounds like a voice note instead of an essay, your channel crosses a line most creators never cross. It stops sounding generated. It starts sounding like someone. You came into this video believing you needed a better voice. You are leaving it knowing you need a better score. The performer was never the weak link, the page was. And the page is the one thing you fully control. But a script that sounds human only opens the door. Getting a viewer to keep watching, minute after minute, is a craft all its own, and it is the craft the algorithm quietly rewards above almost everything else. You thought you needed a better voice, yet your narrator only ever needed a better score to sing from. Subscribe so your Faceless channel keeps sounding human, one honest, spoken line of script at a time. Next comes the retention craft that feeds the algorithm, where you learn to hold viewers minute by minute.